The social network, Lumenwood. Once upon a time, nestled in the quaint, perpetually overcast town of Everglen, lived two inseparable friends. Ilara, a whirlwind of coding brilliance with a heart overflowing with empathy, and Finn, a shy but exceptionally observant artist, who could capture the essence of a person with a single stroke of his charcoal. Everglen High, the local academy, was a microcosm of adolescent anxieties and social hierarchies, a place where popularity was currency and connection often felt fleeting. Ilara, witnessing the silent struggles of her classmates, the quiet genius ostracized for his unconventional ideas, the talented musician unnoticed in the cacophony of the cafeteria, the aspiring writer yearning for an audience, felt a burning desire to create a space where everyone could be seen, valued, and celebrated for who they truly were. "We need a new way for people to connect, Finn," she lamented one blustery autumn afternoon, hunched over her laptop in his attic studio. "Not just based on who has the coolest clothes or the most followers, but based on shared passions, genuine interests, and kindness." Finn, sketching Ilara bathed in the ethereal glow of her screen, nodded slowly. "Like a magical forest, where every tree represents a different talent or passion, and people can find each other wandering those paths." "Exactly," Ilara exclaimed, her eyes sparkling. "A virtual forest, coated with lines of empathy and algorithms of authenticity." And so, under the watchful gaze of a taxidermied owl Finn's grandfather had bequeathed him, they began their quest. Ilara, with her nimble fingers and encyclopedic knowledge of code, began to build the platform. Finn, inspired by the lush, interconnected world of the forest surrounding Everglen, designed the interface. He envisioned each user as a glowing firefly, their light reflecting their passions and interests. They called their creation Lumenwood. Lumenwood wasn't like any social network Everglen High had seen before. Instead of counting followers and chasing likes, users created profiles showcasing their passions. They could join clearings dedicated to specific interests: poetry, robotics, film photography, even the surprisingly popular, competitive gherkin pickling, and contribute their creations, ideas, and encouragement. The heart of Lumenwood was the empathy engine, an algorithm Ilara painstakingly crafted to identify and reward acts of kindness, support, and collaboration. Responding to a user's plea for help with homework, offering constructive criticism on a piece of art, or simply leaving a kind comment earned users Lumen Sparks, which unlocked new features and helped their firefly shine brighter. Word of Lumenwood spread like wildfire through Everglen High. Initially, the popular crowd, accustomed to their reign on existing platforms, scoffed. They continued to parade their perfect lives on Instagram and trade barbs on Tweetstorm, dismissing Lumenwood as a haven for nerds and misfits. But slowly, something began to change. The quiet genius, previously ignored, found a thriving community in the robotics clearing, where his innovative ideas were not only appreciated, but actively sought after. The shy musician, encouraged by the positive feedback on her original compositions posted in the music clearing, started performing at school events, captivating audiences with her haunting melodies. The aspiring writer, finally finding an audience for her stories, blossomed, her words weaving magic and inspiring others to find their own voices. Even students who initially clung to the old platforms began to drift towards Lumenwood. The pressure to maintain a facade of perfection on Instagram felt increasingly exhausting compared to the genuine connection and support they found in Lumenwood's clearings. One day, disaster struck. A group of students, feeling threatened by Lumenwood's growing popularity and the shift in social dynamics, launched a cyber attack, flooding the platform with hateful messages and attempting to corrupt the empathy engine. Ilara and Finn worked tirelessly, fueled by lukewarm coffee and sheer determination, to defend their creation. They patched the security flaws, deleted the offensive content, and reinforced the empathy engine with even stronger safeguards. But the damage was done. The attack left a scar on Lumenwood, a lingering sense of vulnerability and distrust. Discouraged and exhausted, Ilara and Finn almost gave up. They wondered if they had been naive to believe that a social network could truly change people. Then, something extraordinary happened. Users of Lumenwood, noticing Ilara and Finn's weariness, rallied to their defense. Members of the coding clearing offered their expertise to strengthen the platform's security. Artists in the art clearing created beautiful illustrations celebrating the spirit of Lumenwood. Writers in the poetry clearing penned poems of resilience and hope. Even the competitive gherkin picklers contributed, organizing a massive pickle-themed fundraiser to help cover the costs of the cyber attack. The act of unity and support breathed new life into Lumenwood. The platform became stronger, more resilient, and even more vibrant than before. The empathy engine, strengthened by the collective outpouring of kindness, began to identify and reward acts of courage and community spirit. The popular crowd, witnessing the power of Lumenwood's community, finally understood what they had been missing. They deleted their accounts on Instagram and TweetStorm, eager to join the clearings and contribute their own talents and passions. Everglen High transformed. Cliques dissolved, rivalries faded, and a spirit of collaboration and empathy permeated the school. Students who had once felt invisible found their voices, their confidence, and their sense of belonging. Lumenwood became more than just a social network. It became a reflection of Everglen's best self, a place where kindness was celebrated, authenticity was valued, and everyone had the opportunity to shine. Alara and Finn, watching their creation flourish, knew that their quest had been successful. They had built a magical forest where fireflies danced in harmony, illuminating the world with the light of human connection. And though they knew that the challenges of the real world were far more complex than the algorithms they had coded, they believed that even the smallest spark of empathy could ignite a revolution of kindness and change the world, one connection, one lumen spark, at a time. And so, the legend of Lumenwood lived on, a reminder that even in the darkest of forests, the light of friendship, creativity, and compassion can always find a way to shine through. And that, perhaps, is the greatest magic of all.